Hey, everybody, this is Scoots. This is a new kind of experimental version of Sleep With Me we've never done before. So welcome. These are just bedtime stories from our podcast, Sleep With Me. And to make them feel fresh, these ones are from a couple of years ago. So if you're a regular listener, you might get a refresh. And if you're new, these are just bedtime stories from a show called Sleep With Me. They're strange, they're meandering, they're a little bit different. And all this is made possible by listeners like you, regular listeners like you. And so I just want to let you know that's how we're able to put the show out. And so if you are a fan of Sleep With Me, you listen to it on a regular basis, please consider supporting the show. You get ad-free episodes, you get ad-free story-only episodes, tons of other cool stuff at Sleep With Me Plus. That's sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. But if you're in a position and you have some money every month, or you say, hey, maybe I don't watch that streaming service, I'd rather give it to a podcast, think about your favorite podcast. It doesn't have to be Sleep With Me, and support that podcast. If it is Sleep With Me, I consider supporting the show, would be great. But if it isn't, or there's a podcast you listen to way more, brings you a lot of value during the day, please support that podcast. Podcasting is going through a different time right now, and your favorite podcast, the one you get the most out of, could use your support the most. So consider supporting it however they request support. Just check it out, like listen to the show or check out their website, or consider supporting Sleep With Me. If Sleep With Me, you say, oh no, Sleep With Me is the one I listen to the most, sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster who's sitting in the front seat of a car recording so I could be here for you when you need me, which is, I guess, in this case, right now. Interesting. We're connected across space and time. It's pretty cool because I've been there. That's why I make the show, right? It really is. I'm humbled. I'm supposed to be getting to the point, but I'm really humbled that I could be there for you when you need me. That's a pretty cool thing about podcasts. You just hit play. So thanks for listening. And hopefully I can keep you company and be there for you. Ideally take your mind off stuff and put you to sleep, because it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots. This is a quick message here. If you get a lot out of Sleep With Me, if you're a regular listener, you like these new things we're trying out, like the story-only version of the show. If you're new, don't worry about any of this. But if you're a regular listener of Sleep With Me, or you're a regular listener of any podcast, if you have a favorite podcast, and it's not Sleep With Me, that's totally cool. If you have podcasts you listen to way more, or you get way more value out of, I totally understand that. Consider supporting that podcast. Podcasting as an industry is kind of going through a weird phase right now. Direct support from listeners is going to be, it seems like it's going to be the future of most shows. And so consider supporting the podcast you really love. And you could do that. You could find out, you could listen to the show and see how they ask to be supported. Or reach out to them and say, hey, how can I support you? Or if you can't afford, a few dollars a month, you say, hey, how else can I support you? But if Sleep With Me is the one, Sleep With Me Plus is the best way to support Sleep With Me. Sign up for Sleep With Me Plus. Not only you get unbelievably sweet different ways to listen to the show, but it's a huge help for us to be able to do stuff like this. But yeah, think about what your favorite podcast is, and then go ahead and go to their website, or if you already know how they like to be supported, support that show. Thanks and good night. All right, everybody, we're talking season 2. Episode 10 and 11, and we'll be running through my notes first, seeing what we could read. Starts off Rhonda, Diana, Jake, and Trent. Tremaine, Lucky Bachmouth. Lucky Bookmark. Oh, Chidi has this Lucky Bookmark. I figured that one out. They're sitting in pairs. It's a bit like a roller coaster in that blank space we see in other seasons. Then Michael kind of shows them a readout of the neutral zone, TGP, the good place, or TBP, the bad place on either side. And he explains the main obstacles. He says, okay, basically in the neutral zone is Jennifer Lawrence, does that say? Justin Loan, Janet Warehouse, so I rewrote it, an IHOP, Judge's Quarters and Accounting, interdimensional hole of pancakes. So you don't want to eat them. And somewhere in the neutral zone. Oh, wait a second. Oh, to get to the neutral zone, though, you got to go to the bad place to find this portal. It's all mixed up in the bad place. And we also need upper management pins. He has his pin. And then he puts it on, shows them. Can I have it? Upper management pins. I don't know what that means. I'm luggage. Good Janet says. She says, I'm luggage because she doesn't need a pin. Disguises. It's complicated. Like grunge? Like a grunge? Like an orange, that is. I thought it looks like it's neither an O nor a G, my handwriting, but it's like an orange. I thought it looked like a grudge. But I always said that doesn't belong in a sleep podcast. I had a driftwood probate. I had a different... It's definitely different. I had a different profile. I had a different probate. Definitely not that. I'd have a different plan. Polish. And we go to chapter 24. Alice's dramatic dream Tremaine Crampery City Council. Alice's dramatic comedy City Center. I don't know what that says. Aliases. Okay. What are the other names? Oh, Rhonda. I don't see Rhonda on there. Diana Tremaine. Oh, okay. Maybe that says what's on her license. Canada City, Canada. That's what it says. Here's the thing, Scoots. There's definitely no Y at the end of Canada. I could tell you from the future. CANAD, maybe an A and a Y. So I must have been thinking my brain was already processing city. So I combined Canada and city. Kind of my own shorthand, but only thing is that shorthand people know how to interpret later. We interpreted it. Dabbled in acting. Tahani says Baz Luhrmann threw glitter on me. This is really, I mean, Jason has a lot of strong jokes, but the performance for Tahani of Rhonda Mumps is really, really good. And he says, I'm not going to be Blake Bortles. And they say, not Jordals. Yeah, Jake Jordals. Eleanor says lying is second nature at this point. Jason looks sharp in hats. Tahani, us accounts. I don't know what that means. Tahani. Oh, U.S. accent. Dumb double A double S. Oh, cursing, how I've missed you. What if we lose 12 points? Start talking about lying and principles. Okay. Cool with it. Train's moving. Jason pocket square to the lights. Janet looking at him with love in her eyes. Tire fixed. Is that what that says? Oh, tie fixed. Broad case, but that's a briefcase. Tire fixed in a broad case. Pay T-Ted. Pay T-Ted. Looks like I was trying to spell out something. Pay T-Ted. Did someone say something like to pay T-Ted? Briefcase, pay T-Ted, bring back Janet with hard on Janet. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying being bad Janet versus being bad Janet is hard on Janet. I knew it was hard on. Here, pause. Tahani. Oh, train station. There's like that, the poster in the train station is Pirates of the Caribbean. And Michael says act unusual or something. Act untented, according to my writing. Into red carpet halls. Place and area is a place. The Hall of Human Misery. Does it have a gift shop? A hall of low something, low grade crappiness. Flamingo, flossing in an open office, back soon by. Be careful. Robot-like, be careful. Don't get all goopy. Empty plate waiter. Empty plate waiter. Then plum. Oh, then a planner. Bad Janet arrived. She makes a mom joke and a big crowd is coming. S.O.B. S.O.B. ad. Good Place Bird. Oh, Good Place Bank. Sean's office. That's actually the bad place. Scoots. Acts up, man. It's Transformers. Zips my tip. Exhilaration papers? Not exhilaration papers, but extradition papers. File them with the judge. Plans in motion and purity. Working Cheaty Stanicobe. Dap it out. Toxic masculinity. Dirk Dancery. Brat Sowand. Talking is good at it. Oh, Tahani is good at it. Will this end it? What this end it? Sean conference room with Michael stress. Cheaty stresses. Eleanor sits him down. Jonathan Darcy, moral particularism. Is that what it is? Particularism. Patchism. Moral patchism. P-A-T-I-C-H-I-S-M. No absolute rule. We're in literal hell. Life throws you curveballs. Exhilaration. I don't know, this is the second time I've seen exhilaration. I know that's wrong, but exhilaration. Exhalation. Bad Janet walkie-talkie mouth like his Michael slug person. Split up. Found him. Peep this dog. Give him borbs her use. Her like Eleanor. Give him bores. Her use, her light Eleanor. Take back ref. Some kind of line. Ball tip. Give it Trent's. So you can see my writing is like not exactly poetic. I was doing this in the car though. I wasn't driving, I was a passenger. Janet collects the green feast your eyes. Everything is fine. Oh, so this is like, so basically, let me see if I can catch up because it's really, so they go into this museum and there's a reception going on in the museum. And they're pretending they're bad place people at this party. So they split up into two groups, Tahani and Eleanor and Jason and Cheaty. And immediately, not that Jason easily assimilates, so does Tahani. Eleanor kind of is like more keeping an eye on everybody. And I think Eleanor's like, just stick with Jason. He didn't talk to anybody. And then they meet actually the husband of the star of the show. And so he's there pretending he's this, I don't think he's Trent. He thinks Cheaty's Trent. So he says, wait a second, this is my buddy Trent. We used to work together like 300 years ago. But he was, even the fake Chidi was awkward. So he's like, oh, you're so awkward still, man. He goes, I need help figuring out this one thing for my new task, toxic masculinity department. And Chidi's, having trouble with all the lying and stuff. So that's a real challenge for him. Meanwhile, Michael was like, wait a second, I was just going to get these pins and go back and pretend we were going to the judge for extradition. Meanwhile, Sean's like, we're going to do this on the down low and just take the Soul Squad from the medium place. And so they're sending people into the medium place to get everybody out. And I think that already happened. Like, they go in there. Now, meanwhile, this is like a party to reveal a new exhibit. So at some point, so they go in and then they realize that the bad place people aren't there. I don't think they quite realize yet Michael's in on it this second, because they say, wait a second, who's there? Just Derek and Mindy? And they're like singing that song from Badco. And so people run out, no Janet Bortles, just school. Okay, so they run out. Michael grabs their jackets. Is that it? That's all my notes? Okay, yeah. So then Rhonda Mumps, Jordalist go. So basically they reveal the new exhibit, which is the bad play, the Soul Squad, and they kind of play it up. And then we realize, wait a second, that's Trent. Wait, that's Rhonda Mumps. And they're actually able to extricate themselves by Jason's chaos plan. Then they run down a bank hall. Oh, go, bank hall. Jordalist. He says Blake Jordals, or maybe he says Jake Jordalist. And they run out. They get away. They get to a bank portal. Michael shows up with Janet. Or maybe Janet's not there. I don't know. No Janet. Now go. You three. So he gives a thing to Jason. He goes to Hani and Chidi go. And then he goes, okay, well, I just solved the trolley problem. And Eleanor says, what are you saying? He goes, oh, well, I solved the trolley problem. I only have one more pin. And I give it to you. Go take care of everybody. And rolling right into the next episode, they go through the portals. They're yelling, barfs in the nether dimensions. No Michael. Kind music. Jason has a question where we didn't even get to say goodbye to Michael, not even a toodaloo. The door seals shut. We're on our own. What's the judge? They see a burrito. Oh, so they're in this like hall, kind of like a bank elevator area, like what we've seen in season 4. Is this the judge? It's just a burrito. Is this part of the test? Not scared of any burrito. They make a slow approach to the burrito. We doth seek. Judge rolls up. What's up, guys? Chapter 25. Tapatio sauce. I'm not sure. Just came. Did you just come here? You're so bad. Portal is sealed. Get comfortable. Got all your files delivered by pneumatic tomb. I thought you were omniscient. Been watching some Ken Burns. Have an appointment. Something Desmond. Something, I don't know. Desmond. You guys are so cute. No advocates. Please hear our case. I love your accent. Tahani's talking to her. She says, I love your accent. Tahani says, take a sad song and make it better, like my godfather said. She doesn't say, nah, nah. Let's do it. So happy. Michael and Sean, you're a traitor. Sean's very let down. You basic. This good Janet was marbleized. So the bad Janet says she marbleized the good Janet. Judge test zoop. Up you go. Sort of that way. You should be in the bad idea place. Then Jason goes into test room, tea room with a beanbag. It Titans versus the Jaguars. The judge tells Tahani her name's Jen, like hydrogen. You've got to go through the red door at the end. Everyone will talk about what they truly think about you. And Passer, Tahani, Halls, Sean and Michael, Pretty Little Liars, Stephen King, Mistake Was Made, They Belong in the Good Place, Fair and Vacation, Stupid Rules, One of Them Will Screw It Up, Get Rid of Him, Follow Me, Judge Eleanor and Chidi, 2 tests, no 2 doors, no test. You guys are in. We made it. Planetary, not stupid. Just the 2 of you. My burrito walks off. This is the test, not some offer. Hot sauce on chin. Concept of envy. What do moral quandary grimace? Not a test, way worse a choice. Jason meditating. You already knew this is the test. Then Tahani's parents talking. Camilla, exactly the point. 8 Cheeto and I just put but I mean and shagged a Floridian. I wish you both the best through the door. Last words, not retirements, unmarked room for eternity. Giant stack of New Yorkers, goodbye. Classic farts, here comes the door, or the bore. And none, here comes the beer. And none by, Sean out, good Janet, Eleanor pacing through spare doors. Morally, we are allowed to. So what about the ethics? Not the real Cheedy. 99% sure, quadruple check. This ain't Cheedy. Never forget about ethics. Will try. Will time. Caster for sides. What does that say? Eastcaster for Sadie's. Caster for Sadie's. Cheaties do 2 hats 122.03. Brown, no, brown hats. All right for stuff going to bed. All right for stuff going to bed. Place. All right, fun stuff going to bad place. Maybe that's what it says. All right, fun stuff going to bad place. Tell me why. 82 minutes, come on. We all failed. Shall we? Doors open. Video of us. Off to internal damnation. Yelling Michael and Janet. Hey, guys. And with that, my notes come to an end, but not our discussion of the episode, because Scoots is going to talk about everything he saw or sees on the videotape. Thanks. Scoots, take it away. All right, so let's go to the episode here. It opens with the train chugging along. Eleanor and Michael are standing. She sits next to Cheedy. He's checking his pockets. He's kind of dismayed. They're going to, not feeling so hot about going to bad place. HQ. Michael kind of explains everything that I explained. Got to get to the judge. Got to go through the bad place. Got to get to the portals. Janet Warehouse is there. Accounting. IHOP. Get interdimensional hole of pancakes. So we get a lot of Jason jokes in there. And, so we're going to have to go undercover. Probably won't be able to tell the truth. And we need these good place pins, which makes me realize that Michael must have given his to Eleanor. Don't worry, I'll get 4 more. Janet can be a carry-on and luggage. And Janet has bad place supplies for all costumes. What are those things called? Where you going undercover? Disguises. And Jason also offers an alternative plan, which they end up using later. Total chaos. It works every time. Create a new problem. Solve a problem by creating a problem. The Good Place. Chapter 24. Glasses on. Disguises on. Diana Tremaine. This is one of the things I couldn't read. 123 Whatever Street, Canada City, Canada. And Tahani loves being Rhonda Mumps. She's really good at it. Work at the hot dog factory. And Michael says, you got to be more specific than that. So he's giving a direction. She says, okay, I can be more specific. He says, yeah, not Blake Bortles, but Jake Jordals. Jake Jordals, Molotov. Okay. 800 reboots. We should be good at lying. Cheaty? No. Can't do it. He goes to the back of the train. Eleanor goes to sit with him. Tony says, Mondays, pass the NASCAR ketchup. Hey, buddy, I know you don't want to lie, principles and all that. No one's going to be mad. Really? No, yeah, we're mad. Come on. I can swear, I can lie. Look, Eleanor, we're going to go for a judge. What if we lose 12 points for lying? And we needed 12 points. Can't lie to demons. Principles aren't principles. When you pick and choose when you're going to follow them. I won't lie. Okay. And Chidi is so principled. Then we see the train. Eleanor says we'll figure it out. That's when Jason and Janet have a moment over a pocket square. And his tie. She says, you look nice. He says, oh boy, do you too. She says, okay, here's a briefcase. We get way more jokes. And she says, maybe no briefcase. Janet get into character as a bad Janet. She says, well, I could be passive aggressive. I learned that, but that's not quite the level they're looking for. So we see her go back and forth about glasses of water, please. She's doing her best, though. She's doing her best to make trouble. Backup glasses, oh boy. Let's keep working at it. And the train goes into the station. Pirates of the Caribbean 6 premieres coming up in the bad place. People are getting off. There's funny announcements. Michael's nervous. Just act unnatural. They go into this hall. It's just a place, a location. Pretty straightforward, an area or location. Oh, Museum of Human Misery, Hall of Low-Grade Crappiness. And Michael says, this is at least, it's not very popular, so no one should be here. That's first flossing an open plan office. First photos, first waiter to say, oh, it looks like some make a bad joke about dinner. First ultimate Frisbee player, Jason likes. Eleanor, is worried about Michael for real. She tries to cover that up. But another little moment here again. This is a packed 22 minutes. So they're walking around, looking at the hall and checking stuff out. And we see that, all those characters also have kind of steampunky talkers. Then a bad Janet and some party people, planners with, black ties or black shirts and black pants and red ties. And I say, there's going to be a party here? Oh, boy. What are we going to do? Cut to commercial. We go to the bank. Michael goes into Sean's office. Axe is up. Transformers. Smell how Transformer movies make you feel. And Michael says, okay, let's do everything by the book. I just need some pins for my staff. Sean says, we're doing this undercover. Can't let anybody know about this mess up. So we have an alternative plan on the down low. And we're going to get the humans back from the medium place without permission. go to the party. The four of them are at a table. They say, we got to split up so we look unnatural, you know. This is too conspicuous. Chidi let Jason do the talking. Tahani and I'll do stuff. And then they almost get some appetizers. It's food from places, you know, that they aren't originally from. And somebody recognizes Chidi as Trent. It's, and then he likes Jason. Jason immediately him kick it off or whatever. And they says, oh, we worked together 800 years ago in TCAP, toxic masculinity is my new department I'm running. And he says, yeah. And then he says, come over here, meet my friends. This is my old coworker. And we got this case we're working on. Maybe you could help out with an idea. And the guy's like a regular, we've run through everything. What do you do? What will we do? And Chidi acts all nervous, but the guy goes, you're so strange, Trent. I love it, man. You haven't changed one bit. We go back to Tahani and Eleanor just having party conversations. She's really good at it. She goes, yeah, if you've partied enough with the elites, you know, you get good at lying. A good Janet shows up. I think Tahani's drinking a PBR. Yeah. How long is this party going to last? Oh, boy. Then Sean and Michael go into the conference room. Everybody's there. They're kind of, and they say, okay, we're going to pull them out of the medium place. We're going to watch it live. This is exciting. We're not allowed to do that, Sean. Oh, yeah, we don't care about that. We need to cover this up. You know, you and Vicky messed everything up, so, you know, we're going to do this, and then we can go ahead down to the party at the museum. So, very exciting. And they say, okay, everything's in place, let's do it. And we go back to the party. I think there's probably an ad. Chidi's like, all these dudes want me to give them advice. What should I do? Eleanor, you're wearing glasses now. She goes, just lie. If Rhonda can do it, you can do it. And she's dropping names. Lies have consequences. This is a Kantian, you know, situation. And she says, okay, sit down, rub your lucky bookmark and hear me out. What if lying's ethical in this situation? Like Jonathan Dancy says, there aren't all or nothings. Moral particularism. And he says, Scoots, that was what your handwriting said? Moral particularism. There's no fixed rules that work in every situation. Let's say, yeah, my handwriting is like particularly hard to read. And she goes, well, moral particularists would say there is no absolute rule. You have to choose your actions based on the situation. And this is a pretty bonkers situation. She says, I don't know if I could do that. She goes, you're in a cocktail party in literal hell. Life throws you curveballs. And then we have the husband and wife connect with one another briefly. We see a couple more displays. A person on vacation saying, I need a vacation. Good Janet tries to find out how much longer this party's going to be going on. And she sneaks back. She sees the display. It's like, oh, dear. And then we see, okay, we're going into the medium place. Mindy and Derek are singing that song by Bad Company, I think, or is it by somebody else? I feel like looking at doves with you tonight. Michael runs out of there with some sport coats, runs into Lance, a squid slug person. Sean realizes Michael's up to no good. Trent and is there. He says, okay, peep this. You got an idea? Give this guy books. If he's a toxic, masculine person, he goes, I got this one woman that didn't like books. I gave her so many books to read, she read them. And they said, what kind of books? Moral philosophy? And they say, man, this is and they say, I don't know, man. Kind of sounds lame. And the Chidi takes Jason's lead. And he goes, don't question Trent's, man. And they say, okay, Trent, you're the man. Then good Janet tries to grab everybody. Then they say, all right, it's time to reveal the new statues. Newest exhibit here from neighborhood 12358W. And we see all the humans. Oh, dear. Is that what we look like? And they say, okay, here we go. We don't have them, but we've cooked up the next best thing. Vainglorious attention seeker with enough jealousy to power Elon Musk's underwater mansion. I'm Chidi, or maybe I'm not. I can't decide anything, or maybe I can. My stomach hurts. Eleanor Shellstrop, I'm empty inside. I mock others. I'm Jason Mendoza. What? Jason says, that's me. Michael shows up. You smell loud and confusing. Let's go. And they get, cornered. That's when Jason does his move that he's good at with, I didn't realize it, with the pocket square ends up being essential. And then they all run down the hall to the portal. Michael sends them in. Okay. Give me a pin. Where's Janet? Don't worry. Go. Tahani's in. Chidi's in. Jason's in. Only one pin left. Sean and his crew show up. Solve the trolley problem. If you're driving the trolley, there's a third thing you can do, which is, go off the rails and take care of other people. And she goes, what does that even mean? And he sends her through the portal. The others need you. I'll deal with these people. Goodbye. Eleanor goes out. Michael gets busted. Hey, boss, what's up? And the episode ends. And then we roll right into episode 11, season 2, episode 11, the burrito. Everybody comes through the portal. Chidi puts on his glasses. Jason says, I'm going again. That was so awesome. Chidi says, I'm not feeling so good. We just went through a bunch of dimensions. Where's Michael? Not coming. Sacrificed himself. No Michael, no Janet, not even a toodle-doo. The portal closes. We're on our own. They say, where's the judge? They're in like a big hall. Looks kind of like an elevator, bank of elevators, so. There's a burrito on the desk. Is that the judge? Should we eat the burrito? Is this our test? Jason will eat it. And he's the one that's like, what if the burrito's the judge? And they say, I don't know. Eleanor says, maybe. We've seen weirder things. Let's not take any chances. They zoom on it. Hello, Your Excellency. We seek thine judgments. And the judge pulls up. It's Maya Rudolph. And then it goes green. What's up, guys? Chapter 25. I didn't think I had a case. She's putting some Tapatio on there. On her burrito. She said, did you sneak in here without an appointment? Oh, I bet you people are naughty. Yeah, we got about out of the good place. Portal sealed, she says, so you can relax, get comfortable. She puts her regular clothes back on them, or their natural clothes, reads her files. She says, I just learn about humans when I need to. I don't know everything. She talks, just like in season 4, about, what she's watching on TV. Petition denied. Adios. And she says, yeah, you guys are cute, but you didn't file the paperwork. You have no advance notice, so sorry, got to send you back. And Tony says, no. We've been, through a lot. And she goes, okay, well, we made progress, and we deserve an audience. And she says, just take a sad song and make it better. Like my godfather said, don't make it bad. Take a sad group and make us better. Oh, aluminum. She goes, well, you got a lot of guts showing up here unannounced. I haven't had a case in 30 years. I'm super bored. I was going to start another show, but maybe I'll hear your case. Okay. And she says, let's do it. Then we go back to Sean and Michael and Bad Janet. And they call him a traitor. They're making fun of him. How could you do this? You know, we were loyal to you. And this is how you repay us. And he says, I don't want to care about this. You're basic. You're not my friends. Michael says that. Human insult, devastating insult. And the humans are in front of the judges. Good Janet got away. Bad Janet says, no, she didn't. And so, too bad, so sad. And then the judge says, okay, I've designed a test for each of you. And that's what we'll see who makes it. So, and they say, we're more of a group thing. So could you test us together? And it's like, there's a lot of jokes, but they say, no, we work together to get here. And she goes, okay, well, if you all pass, you're in. If any one of you fail, you all fail. And she goes, but whatever. So Jason goes in to a room with Madden 18 on there. He has to play the Titans against the Jaguars and beat them. And so he starts playing as the Titans. Then Tahani, she says, my name's super boring, but it's Jen, short for hydrogen, since it's the only thing in existence when I was created. Anywho, you have to walk down this hallway, go through the red door at the end. But in every room you pass, people are going to be talking about you. So she starts going down the hall. It's a long hall. So it's kind of a hall like you'd see in a luxury hotel. Like it has a blue and white carpet with a nice pattern to it. I guess it's got gold. Kind of color, I don't know, like something that's richer than eggshell. It has paints that are beyond my vocabulary. You say, well, that paint is so expensive, it's not even Scoots' vocabulary. Now, I wonder if they recorded this at the same hotel I stayed at. It doesn't look familiar, but, I don't always pay attention when I'm walking in my hotel room. So there's a red room at the end of the door, like the judge had said. I don't know if I said this, like everybody's going to be saying what they really, truly think about you. And Tahani starts walking. She sees the names on the doors. Childhood friends, Simon, Quentin, Rebecca, and Catherine. Oh, I see. I missed it. I think butlers and nannies maybe is the next one. Then spa workers, Blue Ivy, Carter, and Northwest. Spa workers and bikini people. Then we go back to Shawn Michael and Bad Janet. And, Sean's still giving it to Michael. Michael says, that's actually your fault. You see, it was 800 times, Sean says, that this was all false. And Michael says, a lot of those details I just took from novels I read from Stephen King and episodes of Pretty Little Liars for the fake reports. And he goes, I thought humans could make each other miserable. Instead, they helped each other get better. They were bad people. This isn't supposed to happen. And the only mistake is that somehow a mistake was made. And these people belong in the good place. It's not fair. Sean says, fair is almost as bad as staycation. And you're wrong. We're right. Humans stink. And Michael says, they're good people. They deserve the good place. And Judge is going to feel that way. And Sean says, yeah, no chance. Plus, they'll mess it up. They always do. And the Bad Janet says, let's get rid of this Michael. And Sean says, yeah, let's go. They're in room 211, by the way. And then Chidi and Eleanor, the judge says, you two are up. You're going to go at the same time. They go to walk through doors. They look at one another. Chidi smiles. Eleanor takes a breath and smiles. They walk through a door. They come through another door. And the judge giggles. Pretty trippy, right? No test. You guys are in. We're in. What does that mean? They kind of go back and forth. Oh, you're going to the good place. Congrats. And she gives them these pucks. She says they're medallions. Go ahead, go through the portal. And they're so happy. Holy cow, we made it. She even goes, woo. Who said philosophy was stupid? And he says, you did many times. But he goes, you worked hard. You deserve it. Yeah, judge says you really do. Here's the thing, though. Only the two of you can go. Tahani and Jason didn't make it. They're actually going to the bad place anyway. They're just taking tests to determine where. So maybe reconsider the us together thing. You're all going down. I'm hungry. Better eat my burrito. Totally forgot about it. And they go to commercial, and Chidi and Eleanor are talking it out. This is the test. Maybe Jason and Tahani got the same offer. Whoever takes it loses. And the other two go to the good place. Judge says, nah, that's not true. They have their own tests. She shows them taking their tests, and Tahani's going down the walkway, tempted by different rooms. Jason's playing video games. Laura says, okay, well, and she goes, by the way, you got hot sauce on your chin. She says, it's not hot sauce, it's envy, the concept of envy, concentrated envy or something. Gives food a little kick, and then she turns back to Chidi. Oh, what do we do? Chidi makes a face. Is that the moral quandary grimace? Different from the gas pain grimace and your from whence it came grimace. Spit it out. He goes, this isn't a test. This is a choice. It's way worse. And Eleanor stares at him. He goes, we just got to make a choice. And she goes, why can't one part of this thing of calculating our eternal fate be easy? They say, I don't know. Then we go back to Tahani. Prince William, Prince Harry, and Harry? Maybe that's said. I don't know. Oh, wait, I missed it. The Fergie and Fergie. Put Fergie at Plenty's in the good place. And her parents. And she's close to the end, but she sighs, opens the door. And they say, I don't know what, they're already discussing her, but more as a disappointment compared to her sister. She rolls up on them. Oh, hello. Surprised to see you here. We were just talking about you, your sister more. And they say, sit down, let's talk about your sister and you. Jason's meditating, Judge is checking him, trying to stay calm. It's really hard, to sack my favorite quarterback and play against my own favorite team. But I can do it, unless this is the test. Oh, you already knew it. Trying to trick me. This is the test. She goes, yeah, I told you it was a test. Then I really like this moment with Tahani and her parents. Tahani and her parents is because they're kind of picking at her. And she goes, I risked quite a lot to come in here. And so if you could listen to me for 30 seconds. And they say, well, we got a lot to talk about your sister. She dedicated her album to, well, technically her fans. That's you. And she rubs her face. And she goes, the whole point is you're supposed to be talking about me behind my back. You're not even talking about me. You're talking about her. And she realizes that's the point, and that but she has closure still, which I find amazing. I love it. She goes, I was never going to be enough to earn your respect. And, I've done things you wouldn't even approve of. Eaten a Cheeto, shagged a Floridian, dressed as a service industry worker. And they gasp, and she goes, yep, Cheetos are as loud as they're really loud, they make you happy. And Mom says, don't hulk out, dear. And she stands, she says, okay, and she goes, I'm sorry we didn't have a better relationship. I wish you both the best. And she walks off. Ooh, what a moment. What a dignified moment, really. And then she turns to the door, and like with purpose, walks off. Sean says, hey, Michael, we'll see you. Michael says, go ahead and retire me, man. And he says, we're not retiring you. That's a joke. Then everyone would know, no, we're not doing that. I don't need any scrutiny right now. We're going to put you in this room for the rest of eternity. He goes, you love humans, so we're just going to leave you here with a stack of New Yorkers that keeps going. You'll never get through them. Nothing to do but read the New Yorkers. I think I talked about that on a podcast episode like 5 or 6 years ago. So I know that feeling. They just keep coming. Everybody does. That's subscribe to the New Yorker. And then you read one article, you're like, well, I can't stop now. But then Janet says, all right, well, let's say goodbye with one last gas. And she reveals herself as good Janet, takes out Sean. Hooray. How did you do that? Well, I knew, don't worry, I knew what I was doing. It was a trick. I knew if we were gonna save the day, I'd have to learn how to be bad quick, and I did. So now I'm ready to be nice again after we deal with Sean. And let's go. And Michael smiles. Eleanor keeps walking through the endless doorway, says, it helps me think. And she says, okay, we've been through Kantian, conceptualist, Superman, Rihanna. Am I missing anything? And she goes, give me your most boringest, obscure, wizardy stuff. And she says, if our friends are going to the bad place anyway, us choosing to do something won't lessen their suffering. So morally, we're allowed to go. And he says, let's forget about ethics for a second. And she does a slow look up. And he goes, don't we deserve to be together and happy for once? And she gets a smile. And she says, Judge, come on. I'm Eleanor Shellstrop. This ain't cheaty. We're not going anywhere. I mean, I knew it, but I wanted to quadruple check it. And the judge's mind is blown. And it's really thinking about this today. Like, Eleanor's journey, even into season 2, really metaphorically, but now having so much exposure to it, I'm like, I'm not that great a person. I mean, and I don't say that in a self-deprecating or poor me way. And I've been very selfish most of my life. And I said, wait a second. This metaphor actually has a lot of meaning for me, or Eleanor's journey. And I say, wait a second, it can give me hope. I mean, I realize it's fiction and a comedy and a sitcom. But I say, wow, people can change, at least on TV. And that's what I got all my lessons that made me so selfish for, I think. Or maybe it's just, then we go to Chidi. Sorry, I get back to Chidi's test. He's going back and forth between two hats. That was his real test, brown hat or gray hat. No, he's been doing it for an hour and 22 minutes. He chooses brown hat. Puts on his head, doors open, he smiles, he goes out. Everybody sits down in front of the judge, smiling expectantly. You're all going to the bad place. No one's super surprised. We cut to commercial. Chidi wants explanation. It took you 82 minutes to choose a hat. Come on. Did I choose the right one? Chidi, come on. And honey, you skipped a lot of rooms that I thought would entice you, but you had to open the door with her parents, and she kind of did have to. So, and she says, sorry. Can I go back in and see what Winston Churchill and Freddie Mercury are doing? No. Jason, your test was about impulse control. You showed improvement, but you should have just asked not to play. And you told me off. I guess maybe that scene was cut. He kind of told the judge off, but not in any major way. Because she says, well, why would you tell the judge off? He goes, but I beat the greatest quarterback of all time in the last second to set up a game-winning field goal. Then she goes to Eleanor. Eleanor interrupts her and says, yeah, I failed. Still selfish. So I chose a shrimp over being kind. And the judge nods and says, okay, let's go, shall we? And the portals open back up. Two different style portals. One a swishing vortex portal and another one more of like a paramecium amoeba style one. And then she has a video of them, of highlights together. Chidi's got a stomach ache, but, and she goes, Eleanor says, you know what, I love you. I'm going to miss you. I mean, she doesn't say, I don't know if she says I love you, but I'll be thinking of you in this next life. And the judge just, this is hilarious. And Jason says, I want to go through the portal, get a good night's sleep. We'll come back. We'll try again. Eleanor says, that's what I love about you. She doesn't quite get to Tahani when a noise comes, and it's Michael and good Janet coming through the portal. And they come through, the amoeba portal becomes a vortex portal. They say, hey, Janet says, hey guys, how are you? How are you? And that episode comes to a close. So now you can be like Jason and get in bed and get a good night's sleep. And we'll be back soon. Good nights. All right, I want to thank everybody that reviewed the show recently. Allie Grace says how helpful. Listen to it while I was having my son. When I had my daughter, I didn't know about this and was up with every little noise. Drew helped me sleep so good. Well, as good as you can when you're in a place where you give birth. And now I listen when I'm awake at 2 a.m. and I can't fall back asleep. Out like a lights. 651-429-462-9473. Funny. I can't believe it's labeled explicit, but it's a good podcast. Good with a G to the U to the D. By bracket, line, circle, line, bracket. Can't tell what that is. That somebody with their hands up? I don't know, but or headphones on. I love this podcast because it's just a host that talks and takes your mind off everything. Thank you. This one's from Australia. Question mark, 5 stars, but why is it rated E? It works. Kind friend for sleepless nights. That's from Aragontalism from the U.S. And this one comes from Zynga, who says, sorry, I'm doing this on a phone. Scooter, never been able to sleep at night. For some reason, I tried everything that's supposed to help me sleep. Meditation, no naps, eating healthy, working out, but nothing really ever worked. And I asked someone about what to do, and someone recommended to me this podcast. But after a few tries, it really works. I normally would skip around to 30 minutes and get to past the intro. That's what I normally put on when I get into bed. Of course, this isn't for everybody, so try a few episodes and see how it works. Thanks. And thanks, everybody, for taking the time to review the show. Sleep With Me exists as a free podcast because of people support the show on Patreon or support our sponsors. And we grow as a podcast by people spreading the word, whether it's writing reviews, joining our referral program, or just letting people know about podcasts in general. You'd be surprised how powerful that is. Just showing someone, hey, that's where the podcast app is on your phone, or this is a podcast, like a low-pressure situation. Say, oh, this is it's a tough one, I've noticed, intergenerationally even. So you got to do a slow, I don't know, like you say, well, boy, like it's just that beautiful, check it out. It's on your phone. And then they'll discover podcasts. They'll fall in love with podcasts. And if they need Sleep With Me, they'll eventually discover Sleep With Me. So that's it. I think Scoots will come up here and tell you a little bit more about our referral program. But that's it. Thanks and good night, everybody. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots with a tuck you in message here for our bedtime story podcast. We're trying out, and I kind of said this, free way to support Sleep With Me and bedtime stories from Sleep With Me is join our referral program. sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer, REFER. You get rewarded for introducing people to the free version of Sleep With Me, including access to Sleep With Me Plus, But most of all, just think about what your favorite podcast is or one of your favorite podcasts, and then support that podcast. It doesn't have to be Sleep With Me, but just to support your favorite podcast because they could use your support right now. And if you decide, Sleep With Me is actually my favorite podcast, well, wow, blushing, seriously, even though it's imaginary here in this context, and support it at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus, or listen to a show you love and see how they want to be supported. Thanks.